Welcome to the Podfather Podcast. You can find all our episodes on podfather.me. You can scan the QR code or go to roycall.com. You'll find my 6 podcasts. You can also see the different things that I'm offering, like podcast coaching and also helping people do podcast tours. If you're looking for a virtual assistant, go to va.world. My guest, he's Canadian. I actually made a mistake. I thought he was American, but he's Canadian. Is a seasoned media professional and the visionary co-founder of the 5 a.m. podcast. With extensive experience spanning broadcast television, video production, and project management, he brings a wealth of industry knowledge to his role as host and producer. His mission extends beyond just podcasting. He's committed to providing practical tools and inspiration that empower people to seize each day and live their most fulfilling lives. Through the 5 a.m. podcast, he continues to build a community centered around personal growth, intentional living, and transformational power of productive mornings. Please welcome Michael Klassen.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's great to be on the show.
Yeah, no, it's I'm looking forward to it. So I suppose let's kind of start off with your kind of broadcasting kind of journey and then how we started into broadcasting.
Yeah, certainly for my generation, those of us born in the 70s, when we graduated from college, it was like there was no entry-level positions in many careers, and broadcasting was like that. And it took me 10 years from when I graduated from college to actually have my first job, which I thought was what I should be going for, the benefits and stock options and things like that. And so I ended up having to do a lot of other things. And my parents had always told me, get your degree, but also get a trade, so you have something to fall back on. And that's not really something that's talked about nowadays, but I figured Jesus was a carpenter, so that's probably not a bad way to go. So I got into project management and carpentry and designing and building houses and things like that. But I was always still trying to get back into broadcasting and television and film. And so oftentimes, I'd be hustling to try and get into this world that I thought I wanted to be in, which I did. But yet I was picking up whatever work I could find that would more than pay the bills. I knew at least to think beyond just paying the bills and trying to thrive. So I had to learn a lot of mental skills, and I realized that I had some stinking thinking, and I needed to change that. And so I started reading books and trying to better myself in a variety of different ways. And that's how I found out about podcasting. Is I couldn't read books while I was working, so I had the earbuds in and was training myself. I told my sister once I should have a PhD with all the podcasts that I've listened to over the years. And then I found that what was happening is I was developing the skills that I actually needed to be a good producer and a good communicator. And so when I got into production, part of what helped me get into this station was doing a home building show, which I had experience in television production and home design and carpentry. So that seemed like a perfect fit. And then it was just off to the races. But it was, then I realized I had to be a good team builder. And so then I started understanding how to empower and embolden people to reach beyond where they're at and to learn to build and be more than they've been told they can be. And then that's kind of how 5 a.m. podcast came to be.
Excellent. So your co-host, is it, I believe, with your wife? Yes, is your wife?
Yeah, so she's the producer. I'm the solo host. And she works on the back end, makes sure that nothing falls off the table and gets up into the interweb space and all of that. So it's good. We keep each other grounded and honest and working hard to pursue this dream that we have.
And I saw you're also with Spotify is where you're hosted your show, yeah?
Yeah, so we have it on Spotify, we have it on Apple. Another good relationship that we've just made is with goodpods.com. I think that basically draws on Apple Podcast, and then we have the YouTube channel as well. But our main spot, of course, is 5ampodcast.com, which is where we still have articles. And it's kind of like you find out I might be holding too many plates because we don't get as many printed articles up as we used to, because we would do 1 or 2 a week of those. Like with SMART goals and other kinds of things, we've got some finance articles as well. So yeah, we try to not be all things to all people, but refining our focus as we go. And yeah, so
And so when you're recording, I mean, obviously I'm doing this on Zoom, but I've used StreamYard, I've used a lot of different ones. What do you use when you're actually?
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah, Riverside. And the reason for using Riverside, when I was still working and employed as a broadcast producer, we were using StreamYard. And there was a lot of division of labor because I had a couple of editors working for me, I had a couple of other people working on the team for me. And when I found Riverside, I tried promoting it to the place that I was working at, and they were not easily adopting of other technology. So when I was no longer working there at the end of last year, man, I went straight to Riverside, and it's been really good for me. I love that it fixes the audio, it fixes the editing, and then it makes it pretty easy to push out the product.
And I saw from your shorts that, and not, I haven't seen many do that, but I don't know, does that come from Riverside that you can use both? Because sometimes you, like, just say if it's on the phone for, say, TikTok or something like that, you see both of you, but then you split, you go to just the speaker. Because, like, if I go to the cloud with this, and I don't trust the cloud, unfortunately, but I know I can do both. But when I do it like this, I used to do speaker view. I do split screen because there's more interaction, and I think it gets better downloads when it's done like that. But the way you do it, is that from Riverside, or is it video production? Yeah.
No, yeah, it's from Riverside. So then you go into where you can change your scene, and then it gives you those different options of individual speaker full and individual speaker like wide, and all of those options. So I know the attention span's pretty short these days, so then I try and just kind of mix it up with different speaker views. And then, of course, the webhooks too, of being able to say, before you do X, Y, and Z, watch this or try this, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's been good. And just trying to make sure the SEO is good on that title and description too.
And because I see is TubeBuddy that you're using, because I kind of have TubeBuddy and VidIQ. So perhaps maybe with the TubeBuddy, are you going, which package do you, because there's, just for those that maybe don't know, the listeners, there's different ones. There's like a free that you get just basic, and there's ones that you get a lot of the stuff, and then you pay, I don't know, about 3 times the price of the main one, and you can do split testing and all that. Are you going the full option? Or
no,
I got the middle one. Yeah. So
so we were on the middle one, but lately we've just been on the free one for the last couple of months. And it's the only good thing I think about the free one is that it gives you 3 hashtag options. But that middle one that you're talking about, we've used that in the past, and that's definitely the way to go. I've been hesitant to go like the full Monty, so to speak, for TubeBuddy, because I don't know if it's really worth it paying all that extra money.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing as well. There's so many different things that you're paying for as a podcaster. So then you're kind of going, will I do this? Because there's a lot you'd think it'll bring you extra listeners or engagement, and it doesn't. And like, I use VidIQ, and like, it gives me the graphic, like I get options, and it tells me, oh, the graphic is 100, top score out with the title, and sometimes it's my own title or my tweak or something like that, and then you go in and you could do all the tags. And it doesn't perform. And sometimes the stuff that goes up, and it's like you just go, just put it out, and it does 10 times better. So I don't know how well they work, like, because a lot of people are doing lots of split testing and everything, and that's why they're getting it. But with yours, I'm impressed with how you've actually done your YouTube, because you've only started that channel, I believe, this year, and you've already passed 100,000, which is incredible. Like, because it's not that easy to do. It takes
no.
And I see the shorts are doing it, but what I noticed with your one, and I don't know, is that from the platformers or something? Sometimes people have the transcripts going along, but yours is different. I've never seen it. Yours is like colorful and bigger. Is that something you've done yourself, or does that come into play?
That's in Riverside.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they give you a whole bunch of captions. And then, so because our color is orange for 5 a.m. podcast, we have that hex number. So our number is FF6600, which is basically the top right corner of orange when you look at the colors on the internet. And so then I pick that it's kind of that fun looking like a brush stroke one. And so I changed the main color to be our orange. And then on that reading word, you can change it to be a gradient of purple in your color. So it seems to work out pretty well. I had been reading that, like when we started this, that people like to have the captions on. And so the YouTube captions are just black and white and kind of boring. So I wanted to have a little bit of flair and pizzazz with the words coming across and just make it a little bit more engaging for people.
I just got an email 2 days ago from YouTube saying that now they're going to put it out to all different languages and I don't need to do anything. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I don't know, do you have to get it to a certain, mine just passed 150, but I mean, my channel's going for ages. And what I do is I put them all on that because I got a few removed as well. Some of my YouTube channels were removed. So unfortunately, I kind of have to be careful with the stuff I put out. But I mean, I don't know, is that something that they've sent to you, or can you actually just go in and pick that? But the fact that it can go to Spain and be in Spanish, or in, you know, Brazil and Portuguese and things like that, I mean, it's brilliant because maybe your numbers will double or triple because of that.
Yeah. I think so. What I've noticed just this last week, so like 7 days ago or so, it was showing me that the captions were being translated into Italian, German, and Swedish. So they were doing the captions. Maybe they're going to do the audio then and just translate the audio into those languages, which would be pretty neat technology if they can do that.
And with like the hashtag, you said you're using, say, TubeBuddy, the 3 that they recommend, but say titles and stuff like that. Are you using different software for that, or what way?
Yeah, actually, Sonic is a program that was recommended to me about a year ago. And so Sonic actually has a AI program called Sonic. And so I use that quite a bit to give me the title and the description. And we have to, sometimes we'll tweak it a little bit. But the one thing that Sonic had recommended, because they have this SEO agent as part of Sonic, and it had recommended actually to use emojis in the title and the description. So we have it do that for us. And then it does the research on our guests as well. And it's actually seems to be a very good, I call it automated intelligence, but a very good helper for just about everything, whether it's descriptions and titles or questions even, and research for questions. And there's the one other part of it. It comes up with some really good marketing ideas and really good, SEO, but also just really good wording for copy. If we're making some social media posts or something like that. And it just kind of takes the pressure off of that. Even though I spent a lot of time in my career writing scripts and copy for interviews and all of that, it's just nice to have that little assistant that kind of takes the pressure off.
And what's the price point of that? Because I know there's some that you get free versions and there's others.
Yeah, I pay $20 US a month.
Okay.
So it's about $240 a year.
Yeah. The one I use for just for AI is you.com, and that's got a lot of them combined, and then you can do creative as well. So what I actually do sometimes is I get the graphics, I put in the description, and it gives me, I've got some cool graphics from that, because it's all about grabbing attention.
Yeah, that's right.
And there is a free version in that as well, because I'm conscious of all, like everyone goes through different budgets, and so you can throw thousands at something, and other times people are just getting out the gates and they're watching everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so what was the program that you use?
It's called you.com.
Okay. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. No, I found it very good. And the thing is, well, with the AI is just, it's kind of how you ask the question. If you really phrase it right And just you can get brilliant. Whereas at the start, I was kind of hesitant, and I was like, "This is no good," or I'd even do research on myself, and it was like everything was wrong. And then I start feeding in the information, it still wasn't right, and I was like, "What's going on here?" But I've learned that when you detail out a question exactly what you want, and sometimes even this one, no, it asks for additional information. It's like, are you really looking for this, and you hit the box, or you say none of the above or all of them.
Oh, that's
And
helpful.
yeah,
That's helpful.
and it's excellent. And the Riverside then, what's the price point for that? Because I've been on shows with Riverside, and I know you have to wait around for it to upload. But somebody said even if they close, you can send them the link later and it uploads. So that scared me. I didn't know that you could do that. I only found that out recently. That's why I didn't go near it, because I was thinking, if you have a fantastic interview and the guy just decides to go boom, and you're like, oh, so the fact that you can do it later,
yeah, you can send them that link because it records onto the person's computer, whether it's the subject or the host. And then if they do have slower internet, this is probably over the 60 or 70 interviews that we've recorded with Riverside. It's probably only been 3 times where I've had to send the link over to get it back over. But it's a one-click button, and then it just finishes the upload. So that's been great. And then for that, I paid for the year, and it was right around $300 probably.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
288
with what you've told me that it's doing, it's kind of like, because there's a load that don't do any of them features. So that's not bad. That's good for because I mean, even if you look at I don't know, have you actually started turning on the monetization of your YouTube? But
not yet.
But like with the numbers that you're getting, like that covers that straight away then.
Oh,
you know, so you know, it's not massive, the numbers, because at my Polish one, I think I don't know, something like 500 downloads, or half a million, I mean, and it was like $500, you know. So sometimes people think you'll make a fortune from these things, and you don't. So
that's right.
But it all helps. That's the way I see it. Is you just create all these little things, and so maybe touch on kind of monetization. Are you using kind of your business, or how are you kind of trying to make something from your podcast?
Oh man, that's a good question. So there's a few. We always think in terms of streams, and we know that if we can take care of the nickels and dimes, the dollars will come. They'll take care of themselves. And so we do make some money with Podmatch, with the hosting. So that kind of covers itself each month. And then we haven't monetized yet, but we know that we're getting closer. And so we're trying to not focus on the money, but trying to build the good foundation right now. And we're on our way to monetization. And we know that we're not expecting Lamborghini money. we're happy with Ford F-150 or Ford Taurus money. But the other things that we realize that we need to do is get some products made. And so we've been working on so when we first started 5am podcast, we had this free one sheet. It was a SMART goal worksheet. And over these last five or 6 years, it's been like the #1 download. So we wanted to change that. And so we're making that SMART goal, the SMART goal worksheet, we're actually making it into a workbook and Discover Vision journal. And so we're working on that. It'll be about 100 pages, coil bound. And so it'll be like a journal, but it'll also help people set their goals, but it'll also have a accountability partner section. It'll have a celebration, hit your milestones kind of section. And then there'll be other things like coloring pages and Sudoku puzzles, word searches, and then planners and things like that, just to make it something that becomes a reference book for people as they're making their way through their journey towards where they're going to go. And our tagline for that is, we hope that it'll be a destination on their way to their journey to purpose. And then there's a couple of other things. I've actually got a first draft of a children's financial book done with a squirrel and a mouse that are friends, and little forest animals talk about how to use the nuts and seeds, that they can't eat them all. They got to plant trees, that kind of idea. So, you know, we're testing the waters and we're exploring things that we can do now that'll pay, dividends in the future.
And I've tried workshops, and in the end I didn't, because there was a lot of kind of setting up, and I had a run but nothing worked. I didn't get any sales from it. But I saw your store now. I think you've the mug, which looks cool. It's a cool looking mug with the 5. Is that
Yes.
working, or is it just something will you be building from that and adding maybe t-shirts and hats and things like that?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna build off of that. We know that we've got to kind of build the audience and engage them, and now is a good time where we can see what works and what doesn't work. And I know my wife Susan and I were just talking this week and last week about some t-shirt ideas and just doing some other things that are going to add value to people and build that community. Excuse me, but we didn't want to seem like, because I've worked around those broadcasters and television producers that are just after the money. They want to make everyone else's money their money. And so we want to at least offer some value and to build that relationship, that people know that we're on their side and we're not looking to wave the shiny object while we're picking their pocket with our other hand, that kind of thing. And trying to find that line of being able to buy food and and pay for the house while still doing what we love to do.
And how is it working with your wife? Because some people, I've got a few friends, I know some people, and it's the best thing ever. It just works. And other people, there's no way they could ever do. How do you make it work?
Oh man, I think the good Lord Jesus. That's number one. Probably, because when you can love yourself, then you can love other people. And so we get along well. We've always gotten along well, and our skills, they definitely benefit each other. And Susan even worked on my crew. She was a very talented graphics person, and she still does the graphics. And so she was a member of my crew when I was producing sports games and different things like that. And just yeah, we have this. Well, I kind of like to say you either go through life together or you don't. And if you want to get along, you will, just like every other relationship. And you just choose. And sometimes it's hard to choose, but I've made the choice. We're doing it. We love each other,
Yeah.
and we're good for each other. And you know what? It's actually good when when you're in relationship. It is actually that component of we get to have the hard bits kind of ground off and polished by the people around us, and we get to do that to other people. We just can't be annoying about it. Yeah.
Very good. So, like, I'm always kind of, even though I'm podcasting since 2018, and I kind of seen lots of different stuff, and I can't constantly building up. But when I was doing the research, I saw one of your posts or something like that, because I obviously use QR codes and stuff like that. But I saw a graphic that you had, and it's like, listen to the podcast here with the QR code and the thing and the name. And I just thought, that looks brilliant. Because a lot of the time when I'm sharing this stuff, because sometimes when you put the link, you're penalized from the social media because they don't want. And I was like, oh, that's a clever way of doing it. So I sent it straight away to my team. Hey, we need to create this kind of thing. So I thought that was brilliant. So you might just touch on that and explain to people.
Oh, sure. So, okay. So this is how it happened is the church that my wife and I go to, we have a bunch of the men get together for breakfast once a month. And there's this guy that manages a tire shop. He doesn't even go to our church, but he's got friends that go. And so him and his son come. And Simon and I were chatting, and he said, Michael, here's what I need you to do for me, because I really like your show. You got to make these coasters, and I want you to put a QR code on there that links to your YouTube or one of your other spots, because I'm going to put them in my waiting room at my tire shop. And I was like, Simon, I'd love to give you a high five and a hug right now, because that's a brilliant idea. And so Simon says, it's good, it'll work. So I came home and Susan was like, wow, that's a great idea. And so we use Canva. So she made the design in Canva. We had it printed off with Vistaprint as coasters and stickers, and it became the social media post as well. And Yeah, Simon was pleased as punch when I showed up and said, "Here you go. Here's those coasters you ordered for your waiting room." And that QR code works just so well. And like you say, sometimes you get penalized for having the link. And this we circumvent it. Our families are both from the Netherlands, so we've got that we can make copper wire by stretching a penny or fighting over a penny. Yeah.
So does the orange come from the Netherlands?
Yeah, partly, yes. Yeah.
But the coaster, it's because, especially because a lot of podcasters are kind of have bricks and mortar. It's kind of, so they could actually have them in their, like, that's a brilliant, I mean, I've never seen, that's fantastic that you can just go away and do that. Yeah.
Yeah, a little divine intervention. And now the other thing about orange is I was listening to this talk a couple years back by Rory Sutherland. And he said research showed that if you have a pay now button on your website and it's orange, people will click on orange the most out of any other color for a pay button. Whether it was green or red or blue, orange was the one that people picked on the most. And then seeing as how orange is part of the family line, it just fit really well together.
That's incredible. Yeah. No, brilliant. So I suppose, is there other marketing things that you've kind of come across? Because, like, I mean, I mentioned about the YouTube. It's like I can see you getting to the millions fast with that kind of growth. Like, because usually, it kind of goes like that and slowly, but it just gets better and better. So, the fact that you've got there already, it's, I think you'll be very successful.
Oh, thank you. Well, we've done a lot of research, said quite a few prayers, did a lot of research though, and tried to really hone in what we did. And so, as part of the community on Podmatch, there was a fellow there giving a suggestion that all your stale videos or videos that are not performing, go in and change the title and description. And then making sure that because we have a few different YouTube accounts, we could do 4 likes between the different accounts that we have. And we found that if we take our existing title and description into ChatSonic and ask it to reword it so that it'll be more trending and pattern breaking is a term that ChatSonic uses. And so now we know that if we have a poor performing video or short, especially, we just go in and change the title, number 1. And then number 2, the other thing that we try to do with the shorts is every, where it asks you to put in a related video. We just take like our most recent 5 or 6 shorts and we put our most recent video on as the link. And then the other part is we've actually, through YouTube, we've actually bought some advertising either to get subscribers or to get views. And then what we do, because we don't have a big budget for this, so we'll put a big budget in with like 14 days. Because we found that around 30 to 35 or 28 to $35 a day on YouTube really seems to like that number as far as people it'll show to. So we just put a big number in with like 14 days and hit send this promo out. But then once it reaches like $35 or something, then we shut it off. We pause that promotion. And so that's been helpful for us getting some more views and getting some more subscribers. But we find that as we've done that, it actually brings other people in to find the show. And the other thing that YouTube really likes is when you have around 30% or more of your viewers are subscribers. And that's where, like, going to QQTube or other sites where you can just buy the views or buy the subscriptions or the likes, that's where those actually hurt you, because none of that comes from your subscriber base. And so for for people that might spend $30 or $40 on QQTube or one of those sites where you buy those various things, you're actually a lot farther ahead spending that same amount of money with YouTube. So that's been a marketing strategy.
That's excellent advice. And yeah, I mean, I know that even sometimes people, they'll pay someone to get the 1,000
Yep.
subscribers just so they can start monetizing it. But same thing, because when it goes out,
Yep.
not one of them are a real subscriber, and you're
Correct.
better off growing it slowly so that you can. Yeah, but I've tried some of these like Famity and things like that, and
Yes, absolutely.
they're not real. Like even you've the choice of kind of like real and not real, but none of them are real, and it's like
No.
I'm even writing them now, and it's like, hey, this is. They're just gone. They come in and then they're gone, and they're after taking your money. So yeah, doing the YouTube. You mentioned you've the 4 channels, because I've got a few channels as well. So do you think that helps when you're because I was thinking, should they know it's me? Because I've got like, the Long Polish Crypto one. I've got a few of the different channels.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, should I give the thumbs up? But I don't, because I said they probably know. But then again, nobody knows, because that information no one can click on that and know who's actually giving the thumbs up. They just see.
Right.
Yeah. And you
That's
get
right.
stats. Yeah.
So we just this week, and I should have changed the title, but I didn't because I was just busy with a bunch of other stuff this week. So our Monday show with this fellow Nelson Paredes Parks, we were talking about, business related things and artificial intelligence in the workplace and using that. And that short just was not getting any traction whatsoever. And Susan kept saying, you got to change the title. I was like, I know, I'll get to it. It's on the list. But then what happened is she's got a couple YouTube accounts, so she liked it, and that seemed to give it a little bump. And she said, you know what, we need, like, just make sure you like it from your, your personal YouTube and another one. And so over the course of 2 days, we were making sure that we were watching it a couple of times, but we ended up giving it 4 likes. And after the 4th like, it went from maybe 35 or 50 views, and I think it's over 800 now.
But you do watch it, yeah, because I know, like, say even on TikTok or something like that, because I say, like, my youngest child, he's after creating a car when he's doing, and I said, if you're getting people to don't get them to they have to watch it, because it's better if 10 people watch it and don't give it a heart than 100 people just giving the heart without watching it, because then they're saying, this isn't interesting, we're not going to show it to nobody. So basically what you're saying is, when it's your own channel, just let it play away, and you can buy to it. Unfortunately, you can't go faster than that, but you can.
Right.
Yeah. But still, okay. That's very good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a younger friend of mine, Kieran. He and I were driving home together from being out and about, and he said, "Oh, I want to give you a review on this Apple podcast or something." And it actually came up and said, you have to listen first before we'll let you do your review. And so he said, okay, I'll listen to it. And that was nice of him. I appreciate that. But it's just that reminder of, there's a few simple things we can do that'll kind of prime the pump to get those going. And the other thing that we've noticed, especially with our shorts, is that when we were first starting out a few months ago, boy, if we got 150 views on a short, boy, we were excited. And so then we realized there was a bunch of stuff we didn't know. And now 6 months later, we're actually getting over 1,000 views on our shorts. And it's because we've been able to implement these different things. But the other component to that is working within how YouTube needs to find the people that want to watch this, whatever it is that you're putting out. And so Nelson's was a little bit different than some of the other ones that we had done. And I think YouTube was probably bringing it to people that have watched our other let's say the most recent 4 or 5 that have all done over 1,000 by themselves. But it was a different title. It was a different content. And so nobody was picking it up until we started giving it some likes. And one of the things that we learned is everything that goes up on YouTube needs to be scheduled. And we had heard that you never just put it up straight away. You want to, at least for 2 hours. you have it scheduled. And apparently, from what we've discovered, is that the YouTube algorithm actually starts working to see who am I going to show this to in 2 or 4 hours when it comes out. So that seems to have done well for us too. I had no idea that the algorithms are going to be scraping your scheduled stuff for data and then getting ready to match it to people when it comes out.
That's interesting. And I'm not sure if they were a bit. One of my previous guests, she's got like over 3 million on YouTube.
Wow.
And what she actually said is when you're putting it out, do it on like the 14th minute or the 29th minute.
Oh, is that right?
Because it's all going out at the thing and then it goes out later. So they're blasting it to more. So so it's worth trying that as well on the schedule. I mean, my team actually put the shorts up for me and they schedule it. And the shorts way outperform the videos I put up. But I just kind of, when I'm doing it, I just blast it up. But yeah, I'm going to start doing that tomorrow as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
I mean, but that's what it is with the podcasting. It's like there's so many different things, but it's just getting into systems and just kind of going, okay, I'll do this now. I'll do this. And like even with recently with I'm on Rumble, so I don't know if you put your stuff out on Rumble, but I get good. It's nearly at 194,000 or something like that at the moment.
Wow.
But I've got not all channels, but I've got different channels in the main one. And I used to just kind of blast it out to the bigger one thinking Asher. But then I was saying, nobody wants to listen to, say, the crypto if they're not interested in crypto or meditation. And I've started selecting them, even though there was less followers, and some of them might add 20. But they've jumped so much.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like I'm getting a lot more subscribers on each one by actually just spending the extra little bit of time and just saying, all right, make sure I put it on the right channel when I put it out. And I know I thought it'd be the opposite. So it's like I think we just constantly tweak and watch and all these little kind of 1%ers, it all adds up at the end of the year.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a brilliant idea of going on the 14-minute mark or the 29-minute mark. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah. So with the social media then, because I mean, we've talked about the YouTube, is there any that you find, I mean, there's X, there's Threads, there's Pinterest, I mean, most of them, they drive you crazy, to be honest. And you don't see, like personally with I've something like, I don't know, there's 4,000, 4,500 on X. I rarely see any engagement with that. It's only when, usually crypto, because crypto is kind of big on X. It's if they share it, it gets massive. Or sometimes there's FeedSpot and there's Millennium something. They do charts, but I think their business model is that you then subscribe, pay $10 a month or something like that, because they're saying, because sometimes I've been like number one for Polish podcasts of 100, and it's nice, or the crypto has been as well. But then I see kind of it goes down, so it's like whoever's paying. But
interesting. I hadn't thought about FeedSpot because I used to use FeedSpot as my work as a news producer because I needed news coming in all the time. So I never thought of using FeedSpot, but I was chatting with a fellow yesterday and he told me that I really needed to get onto LinkedIn and sharing my content there, which I had not been doing. But what we use SmarterQ, which enables us to just queue up. So you post it to SmarterQ and then you just schedule it. And we just use Facebook, Instagram, and X. And TikTok. Yeah, TikTok as well. And then we just schedule it through SmarterQ. I would definitely say what I've learned about X, because we're not in the political cesspool at all. We try and avoid that. So then we had to find channels that would be similar to what we were. And it is hard to find them. It's like the algorithms were not putting up people that we actually wanted to connect to on X. But what I was finding out from some of my research, what X really likes is when you're, verified for one, and you paid your 120 for the year or whatever it is. But the other thing is they love it when you're interacting and commenting on other posts. So then I'm trying to find like-minded posts that I can comment on. And when you go to your analytics, it seems like on X, they really want that interaction with other posts, not just your own. And then it starts kind of promoting. It's almost like, hey, if you rub my back, I'll rub yours with X. So they want that interaction. And then it's like, once you pay the price for the interaction, then they'll be like, okay, you've been a good boy, Michael. You're going to earn some distribution of your posts. That's kind of how I view X. And then, I don't know, TikTok seems like you're playing craps in the casino. You're just rolling the dice and you're hoping for whatever number it is that you need to get in craps. But that one has been interesting. They all take time. And we do, and then we've got the Instagram and Facebook as well. But Ben, it's just trying to crack that code of what's gonna get those algorithms to share out our post. And yeah, so it seems like you're making a ham sandwich, but you don't really know all the ingredients that are going into it.
Yeah. With the TikTok, um, unfortunately, I get a lot of strikes, and I got one channel removed, and 6 months later, then they just gave it back me. So I've currently know over 800,000 between,
Wow.
yeah, two that I kind of put out the stuff, but I just started the Polish one, so that's including. And the Polish one's like 000, and then it's over 1,000 views. I'm playing around with it, and so today, now I just put up one instead of a lot, and I'm just going to see, because before it was like I was doing 3, and I saw that if I was doing more, and one of the channels now I can, because sometimes I'd have 15 shorts from an episode, and I just select the whole, because I do so much I've got the content, because I've got 6 podcasts, so I've no shortage of putting up stuff.
Yeah.
And I can actually put up the whole lot of them, and some of them they'll average maybe 250, and then one will just go away. Like there's times now I put up, I do a weekly show on the Awakening with a co-host. He's actually Dutch, so back to the orange color.
Yes, that's right.
And I put up a bunch of them, and they were getting average about 800. I was like delighted. I was telling them, hey, I said, this is good. There's people bookmarking it and hearting it and everything. I said, people are, and the next batch, all zeros and ones. And it's like, and then so there's this 90. It's like, so I'm just playing with it. I'm trying things. I tried the hashtag. It doesn't matter, because I tried hashtag. It doesn't make a difference, because the ones that are averaging 250, I was doing hashtags and everything, then I left it out the exact same. So, yeah. And sometimes I tag the person, because sometimes the person would have a channel. So, for example, like if whoever's putting up the site, and does it help? I don't know. Like, because they can actually comment on it then, and they'll see it, and maybe their audience do it, and we both benefit from it. But it's a hard one. And I mean, I tried to get different books on different things. It's very hard. I don't know, have you come across any book on any platform? But there's a lot of junk out there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it is hard to find that secret sauce that's just gonna make everything grow. And it does seem when I look at it, and the same things as you, like we used to do a whole bunch of hashtags, and I was asking ChatSonic about using hashtags, and they were saying what you just said. Some people don't do any hashtags at all, and it says, like, dude, if you're gonna do hashtags, do like 3 to 5, so that they're not out there. And I guess the thing is, if you're using a hashtag, people actually have to be following a hashtag or searching for it, and if they're not doing that, it's not going to come up for them. And so it still is that looking for that tribe of people that takes a while to build, and get more, have them share it, have them bookmark it, that kind of thing. And so one of the suggestions that ChatSonic gave me and I don't use it a lot, for when I make the shorts, and to put that little text up at the top, is save this for later, as a little call to action. And the other thing I do for likes is I put the little like button in right up above. Like for the shorts, I put the little like thumb right above where you would click on it for the like, and so that it shows up just above that. And then I'll take it away, and then I'll put it back. And I hope that that's a visual cue of clicking that button to like it. And the other thing in my long format that I do, and this is something from broadcasting, of listening for auditory cues. as well as visual cues. So I try not to overwhelm people with too many visual tasks that they have to do while they're watching, but I wait for the guest to talk about something that they like or love, and then that's when I put in the like button and subscribe. So I'll go into the search menu on, because you can search the script on Riverside, and I'll put in the word like or love, and then I'll look for a spot where they're talking about something that they like or love, and then that's when I put in the like, share, subscribe buttons, so that the viewer is actually hearing someone talk about something that they like, and then the option to like it comes up. I don't know if that works in
No,
every case,
and
but
no, that's a fantastic. And the fact that over to think what software are you using, or is the Riverside able that you put the thumbs up and then it displays? Because I see people doing that.
oh yeah.
Don't-
Oh, so the workflow for that is that with our Canva account, we will get those little like buttons and like and subscribe, and then we upload all of that into um into Riverside. And then you're able to place that. So when I ask for a 5-star review, I've got a little 5-star icon, and I put it down right over here by the lamp there. So it looks kind of the stars being lit up by the lamp. And so I put that in when I'm asking for the 5-star review. And then I understand that there's different kinds of fatigues that the viewer will have. And so I don't want to ask for too many things too often. I want to be able to space them out, but I want to minimize the thing that I'm asking for at any one time, because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. And that's why I learned from another podcaster uh, to ask them to share it with 3 friends. And so I kind of got into that a little bit about why that is. And if so everybody says, oh, could you share this, just share this out, and people might say, well, that seems like too big of a task, I have to share that with everybody. But my reaction to this podcaster saying, could you share this with 3 friends, I was like, well, there's probably 2 guys that I could share this with. I could do 2. And then I thought, oh, maybe there's other people too that feel a little overwhelmed with all these choices. And just Michael saying, just share this with everyone. They're going to be like, man, that's like 150 people. I don't have time for that. And so that's why I started saying, hey, could you share this with 3 friends? That's all I'm asking for. Just 3.
I love that. I think it's a way, because I've even heard of someone was selling candles and they used to have 3. And they were selling a load, and then they decided to offer 12 or something like that. And they sold way less. So it's like the
Interesting.
psychology. So
Yeah,
that's a very good tip as well. Like
those numbers.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, like 3 is so common around us, like that thing about poison ivy, leaves of 3, let it be, all those kinds of rhymes and things like that. So we got the Trinity from the church and other things, there's so many 3s around us. And it seems like a manageable number, I think, for people.
no, excellent. And just finally, let's talk about your show, because I actually listened to one about the kind of the sun gazing,
Yeah.
and that's something I've been doing all my life. But it's like it's interesting, and I suppose the whole concept, because like early or getting up early and just productivity and everything. We just touch
Yeah.
on what you're covering, and maybe perhaps some of the guests that have kind of inspired.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting who you can get and what they'll talk about. And some, like with Jason Yoon, who did the sun gazing one, and that whole thing of light. And I'm listening to another podcast right now where there's this doctor is talking about that very same thing. And Jason mentioned that the cells, I think it's the red blood cells, they actually receive some form of the light that we get from the sun, and they actually convert that into oxygen. And I thought, man, that's amazing. I'd like to have more of these conversations about these other modalities. And so I'm glad that you brought up Jason's show, because that really fits with who my wife and I are. And we um, have this different focus from what all the marketing of the world of trying to take our money and that whole thing of distracting us with the left hand while they're picking our pockets. And so with 5 a.m. podcast, we really want to be purveyors of hope. Napoleon Bonaparte, as he was doing his stuff and things, he said that leaders are dealers in hope. And I had probably heard that somewhere along the way, but it wasn't until I started saying that at 5 a.m. podcast, we want to be purveyors of hope. We want people to come away feeling lighter, feeling more energetic, feeling more like I can take on the world, or these obstacles, they're not in my way, they are my way. And I'm going to conquer them. And I need that adversity to build my strength. And so we needed that for ourselves. And so we thought, well, if we need it, we know that other people need it. And because we believe in Christianity and the Bible, and there's a verse in there that I've had for many years that's always stuck in my mind, and it's, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. And so we thought, well, if we can refresh others and help others through those obstacles or pitfalls that they're facing, then people are going to come and help us too. And they're going to come and help revive us or refresh us. And that's really, if we could all love our neighbors and if we could all understand the power of the meditation, the sun gazing, these other things that Western medicine and that atheistic society that's around us tries to suck out the joy of life. And so we wanted to inject that back into the conversation and find people who would be willing to listen to us and say, yeah, this is actually what I needed. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I find. And that's why I encourage everybody to even start the show, because you end up changing your life and learning. And then sometimes it just it gives you a little nudge. You go, I wasn't aware of that. And then because it's on your conscious, you start seeing it, and then you might get a book on it or listen to other podcasts going deeper, and you go, ooh, and your life can become a lot better, and you become aware of things that might be harming you and do the opposite. Yeah. That's what I love about the podcasting.
Oh, me too. And it's we haven't had cable television for years. I worked in the industry for so long, and you realize that people are looking for some reality, and they're actually realizing we don't go to the pubs anymore. My wife and I went over to the Legion for lunch the other day, and that idea of the community coming together. And like here in Canada, man, you will not find a pub that has a piano in it. And one of a good friend of mine, that he came over to Canada as part of the British military, and we would Sunday afternoon sometimes would go down and just kind of have this sense of community in the room. And he would talk about how, like it's Sunday afternoon, there'd be somebody playing the piano right now. And there's that, and I can't think of his name right now, but there's a fellow on YouTube. His whole channel is going to the pubs on Sunday afternoon and playing on the piano. And his name escapes me, but I loved watching that channel, and you could see the difference, that community building, which we don't really have anymore. And I feel like podcasts are that next generation of that community coming together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, Michael, thoroughly enjoyed it. You gave some fantastic tips, and I hope people made notes, and if you didn't, you need to listen to it again, because this will help you grow your channel without a doubt. So you might let the listeners know where they can find you.
Oh yes, 5ampodcast.com. Everything's there. You can listen to shows. You can read the articles, find out about some things coming up. And it's really about understanding the forces around us. It's kind of like the power brokers. They really would like us to be divided into different groups. But what we're trying to do, and I know what you're trying to do, is bring people together and say we have to understand, we need to ignore those divisive thoughts, because we're so much stronger together as a people. Loving each other to whatever capacity that is, but just getting along and realizing that we've got so much to share with those around us and so much to receive too.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, even what you said, once you're doing the right thing and giving it out, it comes back to you 100%. It comes back, and life is just good. And and I have seen it the opposite. The people that are taking and doing, they might get away with it for a few years. They might have all the assets and everything. It always comes back to bite them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's the grand scheme of, I know a lot of people call it the universe. I consider it to be creation, because we're in our minds, we're creative beings to be creative. And so we can either create good or we can create evil. And whatever we create comes back to us. So why don't we want to create light and love and happiness and joy? Because it's just going to come back to us. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll make sure I'll put the link both on the audio and the video. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been wonderful.
Good, fun. So that's all for the Podfather. You'll find all our episodes on podfather.me, and scan the QR code. And remember what he said about the QR code as well, and not the coasters. That's a very good tip. And you'll find everything on roycollin.com with the 6 shows and all my podcasting coaching that I do. And if you're looking for a virtual assistant, go to ba.world. Should give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, share with your friends. And when you check out Michael's 5 a.m. podcast, make sure you do the same. Give him a 5-star rating. And if you're on his YouTube channel, hey, go away, give a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps. Until next week, take care.